Welcome everyone to the stream. I'm Biggie Sweats, and today I'm going to be bringing you the basic beginner guide for Windwalker Monk, how you can jump into your mythic dungeons and raids and absolutely stomp the DPS. I just want to thank you so much. Before we get started, we were able to hit 1,000 subs and finally grab that YouTube partner. Thank you for all the views, the comments, the likes over the course of the last couple of weeks. It's been truly fantastic. Now, make sure we like and subscribe to this video. I'm going to be bringing out so many more. Make sure you come and check us out over on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. GMT. We do viewer raids, dungeons, we're doing giveaways, the whole shebang. So make sure you come and join us there. But without further ado, let's jump into this video. So this guide is going to show you stat rotation, consumables, talents, viability, tier set, everything that you would need to get this class ready to do some high keys or some high raiding. I've been playing a lot of my rogue at the moment, so that is where a lot of my attention is, but the monk is one of my many ults that I've been trying to gear up slowly and experience some dungeons with. I've been playing Brewmaster and Windwalker Monk for a little bit now, so I'm going to show you what I've learned and how to set this up. Now, the viability of the monk in raiding is somewhat high, as a lot of the bosses in this tier have some sort of ad phase, or they are AoE. Take Primal Council, for example. Windwalker Monks do fantastic on there because it is pure AoE base damage. Now, the single target is decent, it's very average, but Windwalker Monks shine so much in Mythic dungeons. This is where they are doing killer damage and absolutely slapping mobs to pieces. Now, they are receiving a 3% nerf overall in damage, but a lot of classes that are in the higher end of things. They're bringing higher classes down and lower classes up to make it more of a balanced situation, but Windwalker Monk is still going to remain very strong in dungeons. Now, everything that I list, as always, will be shown above me or somewhere on the screen. I'm going to start with your stat priority as a Windwalker Monk. We're going to go agility, versatility, critical strike, mastery, and then haste in that order. This is what you should be looking for. But as always, whenever you get gear, whenever you get anything new, please sim that. Don't take anything as pure gospel. Even with your talents, you need to be simming what works best for you. Feel free to play around with anything in this expansion, as that's what it's all about. There's always going to be new builds, there's always going to be new items that work well together. On a side note, if you want to know how to sim your character, I have a full video that will appear at the top right now. If you want to go over there, it'll teach you how to sim on single target, dungeons, and AoE with ease. Now, let's move on to your talents. We're going to start with the dungeon talents. Now, I check on Subcreation, Wowhead, Icy Veins. You've got Raider IO that I look at, and Warcraft logs to sort of generate the best ones to use. I sim them out to see what's good for me, and then I go from there. So the left side of things, the monk class tree, we're going to be talking Soothing Mist in the first row, Rising Sun Kick, and Tiger's Lust. This is fantastic in any dungeon or raid environment. Always grab Tiger's Lust. In row 2, we're talking Calming Presence and Disable. In row 3, we're taking Vigorous Expulsion, Detox, and Paralysis. Again, two major abilities that work fantastic in any sort of ad environment or any ones where you're getting poisons on you. Saves a job for the healer. Row 4 is Grace of the Crane. Row 5 and Ferocity of Juen, which are 2 points into both of these. Then we're going 1 point into Transcendence on row 6, and Spearhand Strike, which is your interrupt, always take this, and into Fortifying Broom, which is just going to keep you alive longer. Then with row 7, we're taking Chi Burst, we're taking Ring of Peace, we're taking 2 points into Fast Feet, we're taking Celerity, and we're taking Expendious Fortification. Row 8, we are taking Profound Rebuttal, we are taking Diffuse Magic, and Eye of the Tiger, Dampen Harm, and Improved Touch of Death. Now, in Touch of Death is currently fantastic. It's going to boost your DPS so much and have the ability to cleave down ads like never before. In row 8, we are taking Close to Heart, 1 point, and Fatal Touch, which is 2 points into that. We are taking Resonating Fist, which is 2 points, and finally, Summon White Tiger Statue. You'll find that both tank and DPS use this just for some extra damage and to just pulse out some of the ads. Now, that is your left side of things. Remember, things can change from dungeon to dungeon. There are better builds for each dungeon when it comes to utility and stuff like that. So, practice, have a look, research, but these are the main talents for all dungeons. Right, now the right side of your tree, this is the Windwalker talent section. We are taking Fists of Fury, because if you didn't, then you would have no talents. In row 2, we are taking Touch of Karma, Ascension, and Power Strikes. In row 3, we are taking Widening Whirl, 2 points into Flashing Fists, and Open Palm Strikes. In row 4, we are taking Mark of the Crane, Flying Serpent Kick, and Glory of the Dawn. In row 6, we are taking Shadow Boxing Treads, we are taking Storm, Earth, and Fire, and finally Strike of the Windlord. I'm pretty sure I counted that wrong. That was row 5. Row 6 is Dance of Chi, Drinking Horn cover, and Hit combo. In row 7, we're taking Forbidden Technique, we are taking Zhuen, we are taking Teachings of the Monastery, and Thunder Fist. Row 8 is Crane Vortex, 2 points, we are taking Fury of Zhuen, and Empowered Tiger Lightning. In row 9, we are taking Fatal Flying Guillotine, Zhuen's Battle Gear, and Transfer the Power. In row 10, the final row, you are taking Sky Reach and Evoker's Delight. Now, this is a very weird talent, as it now dashes you to the target whenever you use Tiger's Palm. It can be very, very weird to use, so it's going to take a minute for you to get used to that. But these are your Windwalker talents for Mythic Dungeons. Now let's look at the more single target or raid style environment that you're going to be taking when we do raids. So on the left side of the tree, we're going with Rising Sun Kick and Tiger's Lust in row 1. Row 2 is Calming Presence. Row 3 is 2 points into Improve Vivify, Detox, and Paralysis. Row 4 is Vivacious Vivication. Don't you just love saying that? 2 points into Ferocity of Zhuen and Improved Paralysis. Row 5 is Transcendence, Spear, Hand Strike, and Fortifying Broom. Row 6 is Chi Burst, Ring of Peace, 2 points into Fast Feet, Celerity, and Expendious Fortification. Row 7 is Profound Rebuttal, Diffuse Magic, Eye of the Tiger, Dampen Harm, Improve, Touch of Death. In row 8, we're taking 2 points into Close to Heart this time, and 2 points into Fatal Touch. Row 8 is Resonant Fists, and row 9 is Summon White Tiger Statue. On the right side of things, for raiding talents, we're starting with Fists of Fury, Touch of Karma, Ascension, and Power Strikes. In row 3, we're taking Widening Whirl, 2 points into Flashing Fists, 1 point into Open Palm Strikes. Row 4 is Mark of the Crane, Flying Serpent Kick, and Glory of the Dawn. This can be used offensively or just as mobility. Row 6, we're taking Shadow Boxing Treads, Storm, Earth, and Fire, and Strike of the Windlord. Row 8, we are taking Dance of Chi, we are taking Drinking Horn cover, and we are taking Hit combo. Row 9, we are taking Forbidden Technique, Zhuen, Teachings of the Monastery, and Thunderfist. Row 9, we are taking Crane Vortex, 2 points. We are taking Empowered Tiger Lightning. Row 10, we are taking Bone Dust Broom. We are taking Fatal Flying Guillotine, Zhuen's Battle Gear, and Transfer the Power. And finally, we are taking Sky Reach and Invoker's Delight. These are your raiding talents. These are built for more single target. However, you're still going to be able to do a very decent amount of AoE using these, but they are built and catered more for raid bosses. So next up, I want to talk a little bit about best in slot, trinkets, what gear you can get, your tier set, and all of that good stuff. So, of course, we're always aiming for our 4 set, because that's just a complete increase in damage. The Monk's one is decent, and is a decent increase in damage, and looks fantastic. Can we just look at that green one up there? Now, the 2 set. Fist of Fury increases the damage dealt by your next 2 Rising Sun Kicks or Spinning Crane Kicks by 30%. And the 4 set, Fist of Fury now instead enhances your next 3 Rising Sun Kicks or Spinning Crane Kicks, and Enhanced Kicks increase damage of your next Fist of Fury by 5%, stacking up 3 times. This is fantastic as they riff off each other very nicely, and it's just going to be overall an increase in single target and flat out AoE DPS. So, let's talk about some of the best in slot trinkets that you can pick up at this current stage in time. Now, what you're going to be looking for are the 5 main ones that I think. Your 2 really solid DPS ones are going to be Manic Grief Torch, which comes from Broodkeeper Deherna from the Vault of Incarnates, and the Storm Eater's Boom, which comes from Dathra the Ascended. It has a 3-minute cooldown, which isn't good, but it's a ton of damage, although you have to stand in one spot for 10 seconds, so you can choose something else, because it is a bit unique to play around with. But other ones are from Erognog, the Decoration of Flame, which is good, the Spiteful Storm, which comes from Razageth, and the Windscar's Whetstone, which is fantastic for so many melee agility classes. That comes from the Court of Stars. Now, if we're talking about best slot that you can get from the raid, I'll show a picture above, but we're talking the Gaze of the Waking Fist, which comes from Razageth, which is a head tier piece. We're talking Terror's Captive Core, if you're not going with the Elemental Lariat, which comes from Terror's, which is over 800 agility. We're talking Mantle of the Waking Fist, which are shoulders that come from the Broodkeeper. The cloak is Acid-Proof Webbing, which comes from Senath. The chest comes from Kurog, which is a tier piece. The wrists are the Loyal Flame Tender's Braces, which come from Broodkeeper Deherna. The gloves are the Palms of the Waking Fist, which come from Dathra. They're a tier piece. Your belt is the Fuel Shell Waistband, which comes from Teros. Your legs are the Lonesome Thunderhosen, which come from Razageth. These aren't tier set. The boots are Ice Climbers Cleats, which come from Sanef. Your ring is the Seal of the Filial Duty, which comes from Broodkeeper, and the Seal of Deherna's Chosen, which comes from Eranog. Trinkets, like I said, Manic Grieve Torch, Spiteful Storm, both great trinkets. Weapons are two-handed weapon is going to be Awak Mani, Grim Totem's Legacy from Kura Grim Totem, or the Fist of the Grand Summoner, two of them which also come from Grim Totem. So both your best in slot weapons, no matter what they are, come from the same boss in the raid. And now, if you're more of a dungeoneer and you like to just go in your dungeons and slap them out, you can get tier set from your weekly vault. So slap out some dungeons and you'll have the chance to get a tier set until the catalyst comes out, where you can change over some of your mythic dungeon gear to the tier set. Now, things you want to be aiming for in dungeons. We're going to show it above, and we're going to go Crown of the Roaring Storms from Louis Life Pools, Custodian's Medallion of Delusion from the Azure Vault, Shoulders, Fellback Level Pauldrons from the Court of Stars, Potion Stained Cloak from Algothar's Academy, that's the cloak. The chest is the Tunic of Eternal Hunt from Noku Defensive. The wrists are Adorned Guardian's Braces from the Halls of Valor. Your gloves are Ruby Contestant Gloves from Algothar Academy. Your belt is the Cinch of Forgotten Duty from Azure Vault. Legs are Feather Melt Leg Guards from the Court of Stars. Your boots are the Footpaths of the Swift Balestra from the Court of Stars. Ring is the Jeweled Signet of Melendres. Now, this is special as it increases your auto attack damage by a certain amount from the Court of Stars. Crystallized Droplet from the Temple of Jade Serpent. Your trinkets from our dungeons are the Wind Scar Whetstone, Court of Stars, absolutely fantastic. Or the Horn of Valor, which is from the Halls of Valor. And your two-hander is the Obsidian Goat Tending Spire, which comes from Algothar's Academy. And finally, Refraction's Edge from Azure Vault if you're rocking two one-handed. Now, Court of Stars is a very good one to farm as a monk. You're going to get a lot of your best in slot gear just from there. Now, there's a few choices we can make when it comes to professions with your crafting orders. We get these things called Spark of Ingenuity, which can be used to craft high item level stuff and upgrade as we go along through the expansion. Now, your main prior for that will be any one-handed weapon with crit or verse on it. Your 2 will be the Elemental Lariat, which is your neck piece. And 3, any additional slots that need to be filled, prioritizing the lowest item level. Monk is a bit carefree when it comes to this stuff, but I would focus on getting a weapon and your Lariat, and then choose whatever you like. So let's go on to the portion video where we talk Consumables and Enchants. So the Consumables that you're going to be rocking for Dragonflight Season 1 for raids are the File of Elemental Chaos. It's a fantastic new flask that changes between like rotations of elemental powers as the fight goes on. It is really awesome to use. Your combat potion, so your pre-part, is Elemental Potion of Ultimate Power. Your health potion is the Refreshing Healing Potion. The food is Horde of Draconic Delicacies, and your weapon buff is the Buzzing Rune. These remain the same for Mythic Dungeons, although the flask is changed to the File of Glacial Fury for more AoE damage. And finally, before we move on to the rotation, the final bit of the video, let's talk about Enchants. So, weapon, you're going to want 2 Frozen Devotions on each weapon. They're going to do fantastic. You want Enchant Chest, Waking Stats. For your braces, you want Devotion of Avoidance. For the boots, you want Watcher's Loam. Rings, use Raid Bots, but versatility is probably going to be your go-to. And for your cloak, you want Graceful Avoidance. For your neck, if you're using the Lariat, you want the Primary Stat and 2 Verse Gems in there. So, for your AoE opener, we're talking Expel Harm before the pull, Chi Burst on pull as you go in, summon your Tiger onto the floor, invoke Juen, Bone Dust if it's talented, Storm Earth Fire, Tiger Palm, Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury, Full Channel, Tiger Palm, Rising Sun Kick only if Whirling Dragon Punch is talented, which it isn't in this regard, and then just follow your priority for your main AoE rotation. So that's going to look something like Juen, Touch of Death when it's up and you can for 2, 3, 4 targets. Expel Harm if 6 Chi about to energy cap. Tiger Palm if 5 Chi and about to energy cap. Strike of the Windlord. Spinning Crane Kick with Dance of Chi proc. Fist of Fury. Spinning Crane Kick during Bone Dust Brew. Blackout Kick but do not overcap Teachings of Monastery. Rising Sun Kick. Spinning Crane Kick. Chi Burst. Boom. That is it. That is it. So we're going to look at this in action. I hope you like the new team mode. This is off the store. This is brand new. It came out today. But yeah, it looks really cool. So let's go into this and see how we can do. So we're going to start off by expelling harm. We're going to put our statue down. We're going to jump in. We're going to Zhuwen, Storm Earth Fire, Strike, swap targets with Tiger's Palm, Blackout Kick, swap targets again. We're applying the dot here. Then we're going to do a full channel of Fists of Fury. Then we're going to do Tiger's Palm again, Blackout Kick, spinning Crane Kick as we've got the marks. Tigers again, Blackout Kick, spinning again into Tigers, into another Fists of Fury. So around 70 clay plus, maybe a bit higher burst if I'm more fluid with it. But yeah, keep the dots spread around to your adds. As you can see, whenever you hit something, it applies these dots to increase your damage. Try and always use a different ability between each ability, as you have your abilities deal more damage when they are not repeated after the same ability. So instead of using 2 Tiger's Palms, do like a Tiger's Palms into a Blackout Kick, like that. Try and always be using different abilities between each one. That is the basis. They've got quite a simple rotation. It's just about building up your marks, getting the full cast off, spreading your increased damage dots, all of that good stuff. Now a little bit about the single target stuff. So expel harm 15 seconds before the pull, Chi Wave. If talented, expel harm, summon White Tiger statue, invoke Zhuwen, Tiger's Palm, Storm of Fire, Strike, the Windlord, Fists of Fury, Tiger Bomb Rise will get very, very linear, and then we move into the normal single target rotation, which is obviously you invoke, Touch of Death when you can, expel harm if 6 chi and about to cap, Tiger Palm if 5 chi and about to cap, Strike the Windlord, Rising Sun Kick with Zhuan's Battle Gear crit buff for extra juicy damage, into Fists of Fury, Rising Sun Kick, Spinning Crane Kick with the Dance of Chi proc, Blackout Kick, but do not overcap Teachings of Monastery, Blackout Kick, Chi Burst. Very, very simple. It's very similar to the AoE one. It's just a few changes, and as always, don't repeat abilities in between unless you have to. So I'm going to show you what this looks like right now. Right, single target, we're going to go B on it. So, we are going to drop our statue into Expel Harm. Then we're going to Chi Burst or Chi Wave into it. We're going to dash him with Tiger's Palm, Zhuwen. Then Boneless Brew onto the floor. Storm of Fire, Strike of the Windlord into a Tiger's Palm. Fists of Fury, full cast. Tiger's Palm into a Blackout Kick. Rising Sun Kick. Tiger's Palm, Blackout Kick. Tiger's Palm, Blackout Kick into a Fist as it's back up. Boom, 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 boom. We attack it. Proc, Tiger's Palm, Rising Sun Kick for the crit. And it's as simple as that. Simple as that. There is better ways to do it. There is some better builds out there, but this is one I find most fluid and I find to do very consistent damage. But that is your single target. You're talking about 40k with my current setup and probably holding about 33k to 38k single target. But this, obviously, monks are more profound on the AoE side of things, so you will always see your bonus damage when there is more things to attack. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope you've learned something, and I hope you're ready to tackle whatever content that you plan to do on your monk. And if anyone asks, this particular mount is if you kill Razagav on any difficulty and you get lucky with the pattern, this is the raid mount that you can get. So just in case anyone asks, and the T-Mog is off the store. It's brand new today. Now, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for subbing, liking, and commenting. It's been fantastic 2 weeks. I hope this continues. Let's keep blasting out content. If you have any classes that you want to see me level or try out, then please just comment them below, and I'll get them right out to you. Until next time, I'm Biggie Sweats. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace!